Hi US History students, welcome back. We're here to talk about the last part of the Unit 2 research project, the 2.04 process paper. So basically the process paper is just going to explain your whole entire research project and the process that you went through to do all the steps. So this is going to be or should be an easy portion of this whole assignment for you. Keep in mind that you want to keep this process paper, so it's going to be a paper, about 300 to 500 words. So this is going to be about, I'd say, a page and a half or so, double spaced. Okay, but really what we're most interested in is that you touch on all of the questions and just give us a complete answer to each one of these, and then we don't really have to worry about the length specifically. Okay, so this is just going to be a short little paper, and this is what you need to answer. So your choice of topic. Why did this particular topic interest you? And why do you believe this was a turning point in US history? You're not going to use the same exact information that you talked about in your research project, especially if you did use a paper. So if you wrote an entire paper, you can use some of the information, but we want to know really why you picked this and why you thought this information was special. So don't just give us your whole other project that you've already turned in. We want to see something new here. And then the second stage, your research. Where did you find your sources? So hopefully you can tell us a little bit more than just, I used Google and I went to the first two things that came up and there we go. Okay, hopefully you've done a little bit more digging because that's the fun of a research project. So one thing I will recommend too about the research bit is use and take advantage of your local library. Go to your local library and ask the librarian, say, hey, I'm doing a project on this. Can you help me find some resources? And you're going to be amazed at how excited they are to help you because, like I said, almost everybody stays at home and uses Google these days. So you'll get a lot of amazing resources. You can cite those in your paper, and you're having help getting your research done in the same time. So where did you find your sources? And then also, what different types of primary and secondary sources did you use? So we will see your annotated bibliography. Remember, that's going along with your project. Okay, but this is giving us a little bit of a different insight. So I used a mixture of letters and photographs because I thought that those gave me a good insight into what was happening at this time. Or I specifically chose photographs because I needed to see that visual representation, and I feel like I learned a lot by looking at the photographs of the people during this time. Okay, something like that. Tell us why you settled on the primary and secondary sources that you did. And your presentation. What factors led you to choose your presentation format, and did the topic you choose lend itself to a specific type of format? If you just say here that you're playing to your strengths, that's fine. But just explain that. So if you like to write papers and that's why you chose to write a paper, excellent, that's fine. However, if you had a topic that was really full of a lot of visual information and you could find and locate a lot of photographs and primary sources from that time that you wanted to share with everyone, well then that might lend itself better to making a website where everybody could have links where they could see those primary sources and experience it themselves. So of course it's going to certain topics are going to lend themselves better to different presentation formats. Just explain that process there. So don't be nervous about the process paper. It's actually, I think, the easiest of all of the stages because it's just telling your story of the journey you went through to create your project. If you have any questions, please see Mrs. Carr or myself, and we're happy to help you through this stage. Thanks. Bye-bye.